Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Leela. Sumit joined on time today. All right, everyone has joined, I believe. Good morning, guys. We'll start.
Good morning.
Good morning, Adil.
Yeah,
Morning, sir.
yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Any doubt in yesterday's class, guys? So we have completed load balancer and auto scaling. We'll talk about the assignment part. Okay. So apart from that, any difficulty in understanding? You,
All good.
all right. Yes, Leela.
Yes, sir. We are fine with the understanding ongoing things. No issues.
Okay. Yeah. So,
Concepts are very crystal clear, sir. Can
yeah,
able to follow easily. Yeah.
yeah. AWS has designed in such a way that anyone can learn, right? But if you guys don't practice it, it's very easy to forget as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. So talking about the assignment part, you guys are able to do it. Who has done it?
I have tried,
Hmm.
done my part. It was working. I'm not sure if I missed something.
Hmm. Can I able to see your this server running your
Sure.
Sir,
You want me to share the screen or just
just a
share the
second.
IP?
Just a second. I'll check with other. Yes, Leela.
yes,
Oh,
sir. Actually, I yet to complete, sir. Give me some time today. I will complete and let you know.
Yeah, Shivraman, did you try?
We need to complete it by today. End of the day.
Okay, so Gaurav, Mumtaz.
Sir, I have spoken yesterday. I will
Yeah,
active
yeah,
from the Monday.
yeah, correct. Mumtaz,
Monday completed, sir.
हाँ,
Monday तक कर दूंगी.
ठीक है. Sumit, are you there? Hello. All right. Yeah. Yes, Wakas. Share me your screen. 1
all
second.
right. Just give me a second.
So first, explain us the procedure, what all you have done, right?
So
What
I
all
have
you have
created
created.
2 instances first,
Okay. How did you create?
and
Just from launch instance?
launch instance. And you
Hmm.
want me to go through the steps and create an AMI and also internet facing. I'm not sure the exact wording, but I just
No,
went through
no.
the steps.
Instance, you have created two instance at the single click at the same time. Number of instance you have given two, right? Did you create
Correct.
in that way or after creating
No,
you
actually, I created separately, and
uh
then I create when I was creating auto scaling,
hmm,
the auto scaling group. Then I created minimum, maximum, and the
okay.
desire.
Okay. So okay, show me the instance. Okay. All right. So
I created two, and the other one that minimum I created, it was showing over here that is supposed to be up and running all the time,
mm-hmm.
other than the one I created initially.
Okay. So have you given your Nginx server to run? Is servers are running
Yes.
in this instance? In all the
Yes, I
instance?
tried.
Okay.
I,
Okay. Wait just a second, we'll check. Okay, show me your load balancer. Okay, show the target group first. We'll
okay.
see what is there in the target group.
This one, test one.
You're using very old one. Just go there in the left top, new EC2 experience. Top
Um,
left top left side left corner. Yeah. Left
right here.
left.
Oh, that's my left over here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That on that switch on. Okay, always use this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that the other one was pretty.
Yeah, that's
Look,
the old one.
some old.
Okay, which one you have used? Which target group?
This one, test one, target group.
Yeah, open it. You have not registered any targets, no?
Oh, I forgot that part.
Then
Maybe
how will I reach to your server from load balancer? I
the
cannot.
one that I created initially, the separate one, through the public IP, I was able to get into the servers. But
Show me that.
not this one.
Show me that.
Okay, just go to my instances. I hope the one I created initially was. Okay, let me see. If I open just through this address, it takes a while to open it. So I just need to separately copy paste to the browser. I'm not sure if you're able to see my other screen.
No. This.
Okay, let me share that as well. Can I stop sharing and share it again? Because I just shared this only one.
Sure.
One moment. Okay, now you should be able to see it. Okay.
You can't see. I mean,
maybe that was the one.
your screen is paused.
I was trying here. Oops. Can you see? HTTP.
No, we cannot see your screen. Stop and share it again. Okay, stop and share it again. Yeah, share it again. Hello.
Sorry, Adil sir, the screen was disappear for some reason. Let me just share one moment.
Yeah. Please share it again. Yeah.
So I was oops, sorry. Yeah, that one I tried. The 3.133.92.94.
So yeah, your EC2 is working. Guys, see if you run the server, right? Why he is getting hello world, that means it is working, right? So he has given in the user data script, he has given the some basic scripts. So that script is running, right? Others, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So even if you guys also give that data script, okay, user data, as soon as you click on public IP, you can see this. Okay.
And Adil sir, one additional steps I did. I allow the HTTP connection.
Yeah.
Along
That
with
you
the
have to
SSH.
do.
That's why
Yes.
that coming up.
Yes. Without that, you cannot do that connection. And now you can access this using load balancer also, right?
That was I didn't try.
Yeah, that's what I have asked you guys to try it. Why? Because so same instances you should add in target group and attach that target group to your load balancer. So whenever I call the load balancer, I get the same page. Now what you have shown, right?
Okay.
Okay, we get the same page. Anyhow, I'm gonna give you guys one more chance. So any Saturday and Sunday is holiday, right? We are not gonna connect tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Monday, you guys show it to me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Monday you guys show
So
it to me. So yeah, you have to register it, Vakas. See, in your load balancer, you've created target group, but there are no targets only in that. You have to register, and your load balancer security group you should check. So click on load balancer.
Oh, okay. I made the same mistake last time I did.
Yeah, click on load balancer.
Yeah, I think I made the same mistake. I didn't register on the last class, the last
No.
small assignment.
No. Show me your load
Okay,
balancer.
1 second.
Is my internet slow,
Yeah,
guys?
I'm clicking load balance.
Hello, am I audible?
Sir, you are audible. I think screen internet
Sir,
may
you
be
are
slow
audible.
for workers or you will not.
Yeah, I think something wrong with my network.
All right. Leave. It's okay, leave, Vikas. At the end of the class, I'll give you proper steps, okay, to do it. Everyone try
Okay.
it. Monday, you guys show. It's for everyone. Mumtaz, Gaurav, please try it, okay?
Sure, sir.
We will
All
try.
right.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. All right. Okay, fine. So let me share my screen. We'll do the quick recap, or like how we do every time. So we'll do the recap of last class. Let me get into that. Yeah. All right. Okay, so yesterday we were discussing about load balancer and auto scaling, right? So in load balancer, you already know what are the different types and all. I don't have to say repeat it again. So we were using ALB. So in ALB, whenever we want to give any if you want to make your load balancer even more intelligent, even more, give more detail, what do we use? We use rule conditions, right? What are the different of rule conditions type?
Sir, one is the target and
No,
okay.
not target. Rule conditions, different types of rule conditions for load balancer.
It's HTTP and
Yes, path base, HTTP
path
header,
hosted
query string,
header.
source
Yeah.
IP. Yeah, those are the types, right? After that, right, we discussed about microservice and monolithic, right? So, and then we talked about dynamic scaling, right? So what do you mean by dynamic scaling, guys, in auto scaling? Okay, first of all, what do you mean by auto scaling? Explain in like proper professional words, not like what you guys have understood. Explain me in professional way, like how you explain in the interview. What do you?
It is scaling scale out based on scenario.
Yeah, based on request, based on traffic, right? Correct. So auto scaling will help us to automatically scale in, scale out. What do you mean by scale in?
Scaling to minimize
Reduce
reduced services.
Yeah, scale out means increasing the
Increase.
right? Yeah.
yes.
So that's the main task of ASG. So, and also I have shown you how to launch ASG. So what is the important step in ASG?
Template.
Correct. So, right. So how do we launch ASG is launch template, right? This is the most important thing. Without launch template, you cannot launch ASG, right? So second is you have to give minimum, maximum and desired. Okay. And the third thing is you have to give what is it? This is a target tracking, right? So, or you have to give some threshold value, right? What is the other ways we have? One is CPU utilization, other one, other 3 to 4. Based on CPU utilization, you can track, right? What is the other one? Other
Memory utilization.
CPU is memory only. We have network
Store.
bytes, right? Network
Okay.
bytes, which is coming on network bytes. And the third one is load balancer request, the request coming on load balancer, right? Based on these things, you can do the target tracking in auto scaling. Okay, you can select any of this. You can ask ASG to track these targets. So if your CPU is more than 50%, increase this. If it's less than this, okay, maintain minimum. Okay, these are things we have learned, and the most important thing what we have learned is dynamic scaling, right? So where do we use that dynamic scaling and why do we use it? I told you one important word. When do we use this dynamic scaling?
Reduce the cost, maybe.
No. One word I told you guys.
Forgot.
So dynamic scaling we use when we have unpredictable workload. Right, so you guys
Yes.
don't know where your project is new project, right? If it's a new startup or new thing, you don't know how user will come, how end users will use it. Still, you're not aware of it. So
Yes,
there
sir.
might be huge impact or there might be very less. Okay, you don't know. So during this scenario, you will use dynamic scaling. So here we have three types of scaling. What are those? Don't tell me no. It's very easy.
Simple step
Correct.
Step-based
scaling, simple scaling, and
Yeah, correct. Simple scaling, step scaling, and the normal default one, target. Right? These are the three things, right? So if you guys say this much in auto scaling, okay, if you give them, see what all I have explained, launch template, right? The minimum, maximum, the CPU target running, dynamic scaling. If you explain this much, the interview, the panel guy, he'll be overwhelmed, right? So usually people will be knowing what is auto scaling. We'll use only to increase or decrease. That's it. They'll be knowing. But since we have done deep dive, these are the things you should be knowing. Okay. So one more question. What is the main difference between auto scaling and load balancer?
A load balancer is not able to create any instances. Like it will check, load balancer will check only health checkup, but not able to create any VMs in case of any VM failure.
Correct.
But auto scaling will check health. I think it will use some other.
It will replace.
Yes.
Yes, very good. Correct answer. Yeah. So please remember it, guys. Okay, that's the major difference between load balancer and auto scaling. Okay. So in exam also they might trick you that my EC2 instance is not running. So I want to replace it. Which services I would go? Right? They'll confuse you with load balancer, target load balancer, auto scaling. You have to select auto scale. All right. Apart from that,
Sir, I have one query. Sir, if I configure auto scaling and everything for maintenance purpose, if I rebooted any instance which is participating in, auto scaling group, I mean the target group, will it create any issues or, whether it will, included any other instances in auto scaling? How it will treat if I rebooted any instance, particular instance?
so you are asking, so you have already launched instance using auto scaling.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right, so let's say you have launched 5 instance using auto scaling. So now in this 5 instance, you have you'll reboot one.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So you will reboot one. What will happen?
Yes,
So
sir.
if you are rebooting auto scaling, as I showed you in one of the class, right? It will wait. Okay, it will wait whether this instance will again be on it or not.
Okay,
So
sir.
so they have some period, cooldown period or draining period, I'll tell you. So if it doesn't come back, if this instance doesn't come back, then it will launch.
Okay,
Or
sir.
else it will not launch. Even if you reboot also, no issue.
Okay, sir. In case if I am, modifying the class or something from T2 to C3 or C4 or M4, I'm just changing the family, sir.
You cannot change this running instance. You have to stop and change it.
Okay, sir.
So as soon as you stop and the moment you are trying to change, okay, it will create one more.
Okay, sir.
So
is it applicable for to extend the, the disk space, the root disk or something, sir?
yeah, that one you can do it. In volume class, I will explain you that, okay?
Okay, sir.
Disk space, storage volume, how to attach to a running instance, how can we add, right? How can we remove that and all you will teach. But in auto scaling, what I'm saying is if you have launched instance through your auto scaling, you can do. I'm not saying you can't do, but the moment you do any changes, you have to stop and you have to do it, right? So
Yes.
the moment you do it, it will launch one more instance. Since it is stopped, it will launch one more. So
Okay.
that is why if you want to change any instance your auto scaling, you have to either do it through launch template only.
Okay, sir.
All right. Okay, so yeah. So one more thing we have talked about is difference between vertical scaling and horizontal scaling, right? You guys know what is vertical scaling and what is horizontal scaling. What is the limitation in vertical scaling, guys? What could be the limitation?
Cost will be high, sir. When we create instances, when we're doing vertical scaling, we cannot able to save cost. We can.
Correct. Cost, one is cost, the another one is availability, right? So
Yes,
in vertical we'll be having less availability, wherein in horizontal availability is more, right? Even if any of your one resource goes down, you have another one, right? Okay, just to remember this is more than enough. All right, so
Can
today
we say vertical scaling is single point failure? Can we say that?
yeah, you can say that. So vertical, if anything goes down, everything will go down, right? So you can say that vertical scaling and horizontal. Yeah. So people, AWS always, it's not like you shouldn't have to go for web, but AWS always recommend for horizontal scaling. Okay. So this slide, I'm gonna share it today with organizer. They will share it to you guys. Okay. Check with them. This is about ELB and auto scaling. Okay. So here what happens? Mm, okay, there are some terminologies. Okay, so these are extra questions. Like if you guys are interested, if you want to learn more things, okay, just go through these scenarios. Okay, just go through this. It's all self-explanatory. Okay, server name indication. These all like extra. Okay, I've given for the exam purpose. Just go through this self-explanatory. If you see, it's just a direct explanation. What do you mean by connection draining? What do you mean by cross-zone load balancing? So it's just a distributing load between available instances in multiple areas. That's it. Okay. So these are some terminology I have taken, which is quite important. Okay. If you guys are interested, you guys can learn. Okay. I mean, read it. If you don't understand, ask me in on Monday's class. Okay.
Sir, I have one more question, sir.
Yeah. Yes, Leela.
Actually, I don't know whether it's the right place to ask this question, but might be a silly question. The thing is, sir, we have seen load balancer and auto scaling concepts in AWS. If it is possible, you just give a high level difference between FI load balancer and AWS, sir. How it will difference where we used such a load balancers in a different scenarios like FI and AWS load balancer, how it will differently is, how it is different from each other. And mostly today's
what is FI load balancer? Where do you use it?
Yeah, that is what I'm asking, sir. Even I heard the term, but I didn't get an opportunity.
No, I have never heard that word FI.
Okay, sir. Okay.
FI FI have never heard. It's not there. Okay. So in load balancers, even in real time also, as I show just now I've given the assignment, right?
Yes, sir.
So same way they do it. So before the load balancer, you'll be having Route 53. So using that Route 53, they'll send to the load balancer. Same what you have learned in the class now. Same thing you will do it in the real time as well. But this FI load balancer, I've
Sir, I
never heard of it.
FI is belongs to a hardware type of load balancer, right?
That's a big IP product.
Yes, sir.
F5.
Yes, sir.
F5.
Yes, F5 load balancer.
F5 load balancer.
LTM, ATM.
Okay, so you have any knowledge on it, Vakas or anyone?
I have seen some videos in our GuiNet YouTube channel, sir, which is related with the F5. A long back, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it works the same. It's just the hardware run in front of the applications running on the servers.
So F5 they use it for on-prem, I guess, right?
Yes, on-prem, yes.
Yeah.
It works on a virtual IP, and behind that, there's all of the servers running.
Yeah. So that is for on-prem, Leela. F5 they use it for on-prem. These load balancer we use it for AWS, right? How this load balancer work in AWS, same way it works in Azure and GCP as well. Only the naming is different.
So can we call it as virtual load balancer, sir, rather than a physical, like FI?
Virtual will not say, we'll call it as elastic load balancer.
Okay, okay, sir.
So if it's in cloud, we call it as elastic load balancer.
Okay, sir.
All right. Okay,
Understood.
so I'll share you these slides. Okay, so now it's already time up. So we're gonna start our new session. So as I told you, give me just a second. I'll just open that slide. Right. We gonna start VPC session. All right. Yeah, I'll just share. Okay, so you guys know about EC2 now. You guys know about load balancer. You guys know about auto scaling. So when I say you guys know, that means you guys know deep dive, right? So I have taught you all the important steps here, right? So what all you can play with it, EC2, load balancer, and auto scaling, right? So these three major services we have completed, and we have one more most important topic, that is VPC, right? So I think most of them already know it. So anyone who knows can give us just a high level overview. What is VPC? Why do we use it?
Yeah, sir. For one network to another network, if you want to connect from one network to another network, from one branch to another branch, in that situation, we use the VPC to connect to different branch.
For my understanding, I think virtual private cloud is just act as a big data center, and in that data center we have availability zones.
Data center?
Just in term.
All right, yeah, it's just a wild guess, right? No issue. Okay, you guys can say even if it's a right or wrong, no issue. Others just try, even if it's wrong, no issue. VPC, any idea? So one, what Gaurav, I think Gaurav said, right? So yeah, one is the way it's correct.
Sir,
And
Sir, this is the virtual private cloud is used for for any company wants a private data center or private cloud for hub to spoke communication.
correct. Yeah, correct. Okay,
sir,
fine.
as
Yeah,
per
yes,
my-
Leela.
Yes, sir. As per my understanding, instead of virtual things, whatever it's a physical or virtual cloud, if he wants to, even if he wants to set up a small company or something, we need a network, sir, first of all. Without a network, we cannot place routers, switches, firewalls, and the instances. Servers, whether it's a physical or virtual. So we need some kind of infrastructure to build the, network. So we need an IP address. We have to carefully, choose IP address and classes, and we need a subnet. We need an ACL, and we also required storages and servers and switches and other things. So the thing is all about, to set up the infra, we need some kind of hardware components, uh, hardware components and IP addresses and other things. That is what I understood about the
Yes.
infra.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so pretty much what you said is correct. All right, so let me start with the basic. Okay, let me begin. Okay, so even if it's a new guy there like Muntaz, right, of the new people. Okay, so what is VPC is? Let's say you are working for some company, right? So you're working for some company, we'll keep it as Accenture, right? You're working for a company called Accenture. Everyone are aware of it. So now when what Accenture will do, so if their company, right? So as soon as the Accenture, let's say Accenture will come to Bangalore, right? So what immediate thing will do? Okay, so Accenture, if they want to set up office in Bangalore, if they want to set up in not in Bangalore, in anywhere, in any new country, new India, what they'll do first is they will build, as Leela said, they'll build their infrastructure, right? So first they'll build their building. Okay, so they will build their building, right? So they will have different departments here over here. They'll be having a sales department, right? They'll be having a development team. So okay, there are a lot of department for all those things. What they'll do first, they'll build the infrastructure, right? So this is physical world. Okay, this is physical world. So same way in cloud. Okay, so in cloud, if you want to build your application, right? If you want to build your anything, okay, if you want to start anything in the cloud, first and most important thing, as I shown you here, right? We have to build our first private cloud. We have to build our first private cloud, right? So we have to build this boundary. So why Accenture is building this boundary? Why? Because the Accenture wants to allow only Accenture employees inside, right? So that is why. So if they don't have boundary here, any random people, let's say the random guy, one who is going to mall, he can also come to Accenture office. What is the purpose? So what would be the difference? There's be no difference, right? So that is why they're building this boundary and they're giving access to only to those employees, right? Same way, if you are building in cloud, right? If you are building or if you are building your applications, so whatever, if you want to do anything in cloud, first and most important thing is we'll build a virtual private cloud. Okay. So this is what it is. So this is our virtual private cloud. Okay. So this is like a boundary, right? So virtual boundary. So now let's say Accenture is moving to cloud. So as soon as they come into cloud, first thing they'll build their first Accenture's private cloud. Okay. Accenture VPC. Right. So now Accenture has built their virtual private cloud. So now here, okay. So if anyone wants to get access to your, let's say your Accenture's payslip, okay, your mail access, right? Uh, your day-to-day work, your Accenture's VM machines are there, right? So what all you guys do it in the Accenture, all the things, okay, they will place all their resources inside this VPC. Okay. So this is your Accenture VPC, right? So now what they will do, they will place all their resources, whatever it might be. Okay. So as I told you, their VMs, their load balancers, or their S3 bucket, their storage, okay, or whatever AWS resources. Okay, we have IAM, um, we have Elastic Beanstalk, we have Lambdas, whatever it may be, everything they'll put it in Accenture VPC cloud now, right? So if anyone wants to access, so what they will do, they'll give the username and password. Okay, they have to come through this VPC only. Okay, now let's say I am the like Leela is an Accenture employee, right? So Leela will get the username and password. That's why they'll create this username and password, right? So once he comes to inside this VPC, he can access anything he wants, right? So this is only for the Accenture employee, right? So now let's say Waqas is not from Accenture, right? Waqas is from outside some other organization. He cannot get into this access. He cannot get this access. Why? Because there's a boundary. So Accenture has built their own private cloud. This is their own private cloud. So they will build whatever they want. They'll play and they'll give it to their only to their employees. That's the power of private cloud, right? So all these days, what we have practiced, right? So you have built load balancers, right? You have built what Waqas has done. He has launched EC2. All those things he has done open, like on Amazon only, on Amazon Internet, open to the world. So anyone could have come and gone. So, but in real time, it doesn't happen like that. So they will always be having a custom VPC. We'll always first thing, right, in real time, we'll go and build our VPC, virtual private cloud. Is this clear until here? If it's clear, then we'll
Yes,
move
sir.
into next step.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, right. So yeah, now we'll get into the slide. Now you guys will understand the VPC, this thing. Okay. So In corporate network or on on-premise data center, can anyone on the internet see the data exchange between the applications and the database? No. Can anyone from internet directly connect to your database? Typically, no. You need to connect to your corporate network and then access your application or database, right? So same way your VPC works in the cloud. Okay. So corporate network provides a secure internal network protecting your resources, data, and communication from external. Same thing now I have explained, right, with the diagram. So this is their corporate network or virtual private cloud. That's why we use VPC. Okay. So what is VPC? Is our own isolated network in cloud. Okay. So network traffic within a VPC is isolated, not visible from all other Amazon VPCs. Okay, here we can control the traffic. Okay, you can have a visibility over the traffic. You can see all the incoming traffic, outgoing traffic. Okay, you will be the one. So once you build your house, right, you will know everything, right, in and around the house. Same way in cloud, once you build the private cloud, you can control everything here. What resources you should put, what resources you should remove, which users are coming, and which users are allowing, okay, for whom you're giving access to your house, to your cloud, right? Everything you can control in using VPC only, right? This is the first layer of protection. Okay. So yeah, so this is about VPC. Now we'll go one level down. Okay, one layer down. Guys, always remember, I forgot to mention in my first class, I think I have mentioned or not, I don't remember. All right. So what AWS follows, so AWS main agenda, right, in the cloud is this thing. Defense in depth model. What do you mean by defense in depth model? People who know.
Security wise, they
So they'll have, so defense in depth model means they have a lot of layers. If you want to access any of the data in cloud, you have to go through multiple layers. So that is what you mean by defense in depth. Okay. So I'll show you how it looks. So okay, so if you store data in AWS, it will store in this way, guys. Okay, so if you store any data, if you are running any application, right, applications data in AWS cloud, this is how it works. If you want to access this data, you have to go through multiple layers of security, right? This is what we call it as defense in depth model. So each layer there will be verification, right? Each layer verification. So only if you pass all those things, then only you will get access to your data. That's why AWS, it has good security posture, right? It has a good security layer. So it is very difficult to hack the data. So all the services follow this method. Please remember this word, defense in depth. Okay, so if you say it in interview, right, it is a like good practice. It will be exceptional. And so once you start learning all the service, you will understand why I have told defense in depth, because all the services follows this method only, defense in depth, right? So now let's get back into the topic. Now you will understand how this defense in depth is utilized in VPC. All right. Now you guys clear what is VPC, right? So your virtual private cloud. Okay. So as soon as you create virtual private cloud, we need to create the subnets. Okay. So what do you mean by subnets? And why do we require subnets? Any idea?
can you tell me questions sir once again, please?
What do you mean by subnets and what is the requirement of subnets?
Wastage of IP address, like
To
Like a private network where we can every VPC has a individual subnet. So if you want to connect one
maximum IP
subnet,
address to utilize in the network
yes, you
with
can
the
say.
use of subnet.
Okay. So subnets is subnets is nothing but your availability zones. That's it. What do you mean by availability zone?
It's a collection of data centers.
Exactly. So how many availability zones will be there in each region? If you see here, right? If you see EOS, each region varies. Okay. One region in Northwest Virginia will be having a 6 availability zone, right? Mumbai has 3 availability zones, right? So this Singapore has 4 availability zone. It varies. So how many subnets how many availability zones you have? That many subnets. That's it. So now in Mumbai, we have 3 availability zone, right? So in Mumbai, we can have 3 subnets. So I'll show you here. So I'm explaining only what you mean by subnets. I'll explain you now what is the need of subnet.
Can we call it as sub networks?
Sub networks. Yeah, you can call it. It's not.
Okay.
Okay. So if you guys see here by default, okay, this is the default. We have 3. All right. So now if I create a VPC here, this is the default VPC, guys, remember, okay? This is the default VPC in Mumbai. Now, if I create my own VPC, I can create up to 3 availability zone. Why? Because I only have 3 zones in this Mumbai. That's why I can create only 3 subnets. Okay, so don't get confused. You will understand right now. As of now, just remember what do you mean by subnets? Subnets are related to availability zone. So how many availability zones we have, that many subnets we can create. All right, so why do we use, sorry?
The IPv4 range for those subnets will be the same as default?
No, it
Or
differs.
we can change it.
We can change that. I'll show it.
Okay.
Sir, is it subnet and VLANs are same, sir, or it's a different totally?
VLAN, sir?
Does subnet and VLAN same, sir, or it differs, sir?
No, it differs. VLAN, I'm not aware of it, right? So I'll let you know regarding that. But these subnets we use for a different purpose. I'll show it to you now. If you
Actually, in a company, we used a call as VLANs based on the department, sir. For example, sales, accounts, and purchase, we have created a VLAN, sir. So that is the reason
Yeah, it's just for separate the networks.
yeah. Subnets is same, correct. We use subnets for that kind of only. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So now once you create VPC, right, you guys need to create a subnet. So this is how, so now let's say I'm in Mumbai, right? So this is in Mumbai. I have 3 availability zones, so I can create 3 subnets. So inside VPC, you can create 3 subnets. Okay. So and why do we need a subnet is just, classification of data, or, in order to make a separate, right? So usually we create subnets in this way. We call this as a public subnet, right? This is again enterprise subnet, and this is private subnet. So why do we create this? Okay, why do we have subnet? So what I'm telling you about real time, guys. So how in my company or how they follow this, we have created in this way. So each VPC we have created like these subnets: public, enterprise, and private. So now what we'll do, all our databases, right, or all our important data which should not be leaked. So we will store it here in private. So this private subnet, we will not talk to internet. That's why I use this private. All right. So all our application, right? So our API gateway, all those things, we use it in public. Our load balancer you guys just created, right? Load balancer, we'll put in public. Okay. If you are EC2, right? Now Vakas has created one script, hello world, right? So it has to go through internet. So if the EC2 is talking to internet, you can put that EC2 in public. If you are using EC2 just for for database, then you can put it in private. Okay, something like that. So we use in this way subnet. Okay, I'll show you in demo. Just for understanding, I have told you in real time how do we use it. So public will be having a connection to the internet. It will talk to the internet, wherein private and enterprise doesn't talk. That's how we use subnet, guys. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes,
that's
sir,
clear.
it's clear.
मुमताज अंडरस्टैंड हो रहा है क्या आपको?
यस सर, समझ में आ रहा।
हाँ अच्छा
कोई
ठीक है,
मुश्किल नहीं।
हाँ हाँ, good good. Sivraman, yeah, you told no. Sumit, are you there? You are not speaking at all. Darshan, Gajanan,
Yeah, yes, understanding.
good. All right. So, okay. Now, before we launch this thing, I need to give in real time. Do you guys aware of this CADR range? What do you mean by CADR range?
It's a VLSM.
It's a inter-domain routing. C
Sir,
means something.
sir, this is the subnet and this is used for as a block like 24, 16, 32.
हाँ. CADR is a classless internet domain range. Okay, so you guys are aware of it, or should I teach it?
Yes, I know it,
Yeah, we
but
know.
others I
I'm
don't
not
know.
sure about other.
Yeah, we know, all know.
All right. Anyhow, I'll give you a overview of it. So why CADR has introduced is same. Yes, since you know it, right? So if you want to give the list out the IP addresses, so it is like impossible to list out all the IP addresses, right? So that's why they have come up with range. So if you guys see it here, 69.208.0.2 to 69.202.0.15. Okay, so if you want to list out, you have to list out 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. You have to list out like that. Okay, that's why they have come up with why can't we give the range? That's why they have introduced a classless inter-domain range. So here, instead of listing out, we have given the range. Okay, 69.208.0.8 and range /28. Okay, so if you give /28, that means we have 16 address. How it came 16?
32 minus 16.
Why we have to give 32 on minus 16?
Because this is the every block has a 8 subnet and there are in the IP address there are 4 subnets, so we use the 32 bits.
Sir, actually, IP address,
We
IP4
are
address
using
is
2
Okay.
as a network
IP.
address,
Can
2
you
as
guys
a
see my screen? Others?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys
We
see,
borrowed 4 bits from the
yeah,
third octet.
right.
So that's
So
how.
Yes,
yeah.
octet, yes.
So if you see here, each IP we have like 8 bits, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So each IP in this we have 8 bits. So when we say 28, so here if you say 28, 28 bits are fixed,
Yeah, network
right? So
records.
28 bits are fixed. So total we have 32. So that's why we are doing 32 minus 28, and then whatever it comes, we'll do the 2 to the power of 4, we'll get 16. Okay, same way you can play here. Okay, if you give 12, you get these many things. Okay, if you give 32, that means only one IP. If you give 30, right, we have to give 4, right? This is what CADR means. Okay, you guys should be knowing well. I think everyone knows it, right? If anyone is new to cloud, please understand this, okay? Or else it will be very difficult to create your VPC or subnets or anything. Okay, you guys should be aware of this CADR ranges, right?
Sir, VLSM is also used in this AWS
No,
VLSM.
no.
Okay.
All right. So if you guys see, we'll use VP or CADR blocks for the VPCs. Okay. So always remember when we are giving CADR block to our VPC, subnets are the subset of VPC. Okay. So this IP range is what you give. It should be inside your main VPC thing. Okay. You should give like that. Anyhow, I'll show it in the demo. Okay. I'll show it in the demo. Now, what I'm gonna do is All right. Okay. Now, I want you guys to remember this architecture. Before that, I'm thinking, should I give that example or not? All right, I'll just give you guys the basic example, then you guys will understand. All right. Okay. So yeah, so let's consider this is some hotel. Okay. So just let's say we call it as some veg hotel. Okay. So how this hotel works? How this hotel works? We have partition like this, right? We have partition like this, and we have entrance to our hotel like this, right? So when the customer comes, okay, if you goes into the hotel, you will go through this door only, right? So all the customer can come anywhere from the world. They can, if you want to visit to this hotel, you will visit through this main door. Okay, you will come here. So here we'll be having a seatings. Okay, here we'll be having a table, right? We'll have a different table, right? You come and you will sit here. Customer will come and sit here. So here we'll be having a receptionist. So we'll have a receptionist, and we in every hotel, okay, in every hotel, wherever you go, even in this entire world, they have this partition, right? So here until here only you are allowed. Okay, customers are allowed only until here. So what do they use for this section? This is for chef. Okay, all your cooking. Let's say if you come and order, just say you want one pizza, right? If you order any one thing, if you'll order to this, okay, you will order here, and this request will go here to your chef, and your chef will prepare your pizza here. He will prepare whatever you order, he will prepare, and he will give back to you. Right, guys? Am I missing anything here? This is how basically all the hotel works, right?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
So same way, same methodology, our AWS cloud, that is our VPC works. Okay. So if you are replicating this to the cloud, this boundary, this is there. No, this is our VPC. Okay. So this is our VPC. Once you create VPC, we'll create a subnets, as I told you, right? These are our subnet. So this is one subnet. Okay. And this is another subnets. As I told you, public subnet and private subnet. So this we call it as public subnet. Why? Why do we call public subnet? Because all the users, okay, from the internet, all the users from internet outside, they're coming here to the public subnet, right? And why do we call it as a private subnet?
It's
Because
not publicly accessible.
yeah, it's not publicly accessible, and only your internal people can access, right? So your hotel manager can come inside, no? If he's an internal guy, only he can come inside, right? Same way, your private subnet can be used by your internal. If you are internal to your company, you can use it, but outsiders cannot use it, right? And here we have, yeah.
Sorry for the interruption. It looks like a restricted or prohibited areas to.
Exactly. So it's a restricted area. So these kind of restricted only, we in cloud, we call it as a private subnet. Right here, we don't have access to the internet. In public, all the, if you see, many users will come in public subnet. Okay. So if you guys have understood this, now same way our AWS architecture works. Okay. Now I'll show you the VPC architecture. Okay. I want you guys to, you know, as soon as you, if anyone asks you about VPC subnets, I want you guys to remember these kind of diagrams. That's why I'm explaining through diagram, right? So that you don't have to go through slides, you don't have to watch YouTube videos anytime. That's why I'm giving you this example and explaining you. Okay. Now I'll explain you exact VPC architecture so that it will be very relatable. All right. So now let us start. Is it clear, right? How it works? Public,
Yes.
private. Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. So now we're gonna build. Okay. So if they ask about VPC architecture, this is how our VPC looks. Always remember this. This is our VPC. All right. Okay. So as I told, what do we note? So inside our hotel, we want public subnet, right? And we want private subnet. Okay. So then what do we need to have? We need to have door, right? How do users will come? We need to have some door. Okay, that door we call it as internet gateway. Right. So this is our internet gateway. This is public subnet and this is private subnet, right? Okay. Okay. Now here, before coming to this, we'll have a route tables. I'll explain you why do we have route tables. Okay, this is different route tables. All right. So now you guys have understood the border. Same way it works. I'll show you how data work. Now you have created VPC. Once, as soon as you guys create a VPC, you need to create internet gateway, something called internet gateway. Why do we need to create internet gateway? This is where all the traffic comes in, like your hotel door. This is the main door of your VPC. If you don't create internet gateway, it is like a closed hotel. You cannot talk to anyone outside, right? This is the your main door. Okay, internet gateway. So all the traffic comes here to the internet gateway. So from here, it will go to the route tables. Always remember, traffic from internet gateway, it go to the route table. So we have two types of route tables. One is private route table and another is public route table. Okay, so why do we have this private route table and public route table? Sorry, here it comes public, here comes the private. Okay, so as soon as the request comes, it will analyze the request. Okay, so if the request is coming from internet gateway, if its request is coming from the internet, so this route table will it will get to know, okay, so I need to send it to the public subnet. Okay, how will it get to know? We need to give configurations. Okay, if the request is coming from inside, as I told you, if the hotel manager wants to talk to your chef, okay, something like that, if his request coming from inside, then the request will go to private route table. Okay, now from this, okay, now request has come to your public route, and from here it will go to your public subnet. Right? So here it will come, here you will be having your load balancer, your EC2s, right? All over your whatever the resource which has to face public, route 53, right? All those things will be there here. Okay, so from here, right, so if you place, let's say your load balancer will be here. So as soon as any request comes, what load balancer will do? It will send it to the target group, right? So what do you mean by target group? It is nothing but your collection of EC2. So from here, from load balancer, it will send to your private subnet. Okay, so here it will process the data. It will process the data. EC2 will run your data, whatever user request, and then it will send back. Again, it will go to the load balancer. Again, it will go to the private route table. Again, it will go to the internet gateway, and then it will go to your end user. Okay, this is the main architecture, guys. Okay, of VPC. So if anyone explain, just ignore this. You guys will get confused. Ignore this part. Okay, this is same. We will replicate here just for availability. So how this VPC works is it's similar like this. Okay, we have VPC. We need to create internet gateway at the door for the entrance. From there, it will come to the route table. Route table is the one which gives the direction, whether it should go to the public subnet, whether it should go to the private subnet. This is the one. Okay, so from route table, it will go to the public subnet, and then from public subnet, it will go to your private. Right, same way, right? How hotel also worked in the same way. User comes through the door. Okay, they'll come and sit in the public subnet. If they want to order, if they want any pizza, they'll order. Okay, that request will go to your chef. Chef will prepare pizza and it will give it back. User will have it and then they will go back. Same way. Okay, so in here, as I told you, the defense in depth model, to protect this, we have different protection in between. Okay, so we have knuckles. Okay, So why do we have NACL? It is a virtual firewall to your subnets. Okay, virtual firewall for your subnets. Okay, for each subnet you have to create one NACL. Okay, these are the firewalls. Okay, so why they have created, as I told you, right, defense in depth model. So if anyone wants to access any data, see how many layers it is going. First, they need to should get access through internet gateway. Then it should come to route table. Then it should go to NACL. Then NACL should allow. Then it will go to the public subnet, and then it will go to load balancer. And then again NACL, outside NACL, it should go to the again public subnet NACL, and then it will go to the EC2 instance. Then it will do some programming or whatever it is. Then again it have to go through same process, right? This is your main architecture, guys. Any doubt here?
No, sir.
Clear, sir.
Yeah, so if they ask in interview, or can you explain me your architecture? Can you explain me your AWS cloud architecture, how it works? It works in way. Okay, so what they'll do, similar same this thing they will copy and they'll keep it just for high availability. So if this is go down, they want to make it another. So I'll show you in.
One question, Adil sir.
Yeah.
Is the security groups is not part of that public and private subnet?
I'll tell you. So if I tell you that it will be
okay.
like overwhelming, that's why I didn't say
Okay,
it.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Because
So
you said NACL would be the firewall. Also heard the security groups is also
security
virtual.
group is for your instance. Okay, this can you guys see this image? This explains very well.
Okay, okay.
Okay. See guys, this is your same architecture I explained, if this is your red line is your VPC, right? So then you will have an internet gateway. As soon as the internet gateway comes, it will come to the router or route tables. Okay, here it will say whether I need to send to the public or private. Okay, so from public, if it has to go, it has to go to the NACL, and then it has to go to the subnet. Okay, before it gets to the resources, we have security group, right? Security group is for what? It's only for EC2 instance and for load balancers. So if they want to access EC2 or load balancer, they have to go through security group. Okay. Now it will be like overwhelming to remember. That's why I'm not told. Okay. So VPC
NACL basically is it's the ACL access control list.
Network access control list. So it is a virtual firewall for your subnets.
Okay.
Like security group is what? Virtual firewall for EC2, right?
Yes.
So NACL is a virtual firewall for subnets. Is it clear? This architecture is clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
All right. So
yeah, I understand now.
In demo, I'm going to do the same thing. Okay. I'm going to create a VPC and then I'm going to attach internet gateway. I'm going to attach a route table. I'm going to attach this public subnet, private subnet, everything I'll show you step by step. Okay. So once if I start, I need to complete it, right? So if I start now, it will take a longer time, right? So I don't want to start the demo now. In our coming class, I'll start the demo. We'll start the demo. So by that time, I want you guys to know about load balancer, auto scaling, EC2 completely. Others, that's why I'm, asking in every class to do the assignments. If you don't understand this load balancer EC2, then how will you understand this architecture? Okay.
Yes.
So we gonna do this architecture. That's why on Monday, please do the assignment and come. So I'll explain each and everything how to configure. What you should configure in internet gateway, what you should configure in route table, what you should configure in subnets, what you should allow, how to create a NACL, and what are the importance of NACL, right? Configurations are very important. That I'll show you.
Okay.
All right. Is it clear to others? Any doubt, guys?
No. Okay.
Sivraman.
No.
Gaurav. Yeah, Gaurav.
No queries.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Clear about VPC architecture, right? So once we do the demo, you guys will never forget. So my previous batch students also say the same thing. So whenever they ask an interview, they'll just explain my diagram.
That's
All
a
right?
good way to understand.
Yeah. So you can relate with the real-time example also, hotel way, how they work, same thing. Muntaz, Gaurav, Leela, please do the assignment and come Monday.
Okay, sure.
Sure, sir.
Sure,
Sure.
sir. Sure.
Sure, sir.
Do you want me to give that question again, or do you guys remember it?
The one that the previous assignments?
Yeah, yesterday's class.
Yes, I know. I'm not sure about others needed to
Do you guys know
review
others?
it.
What do you need to do?
Yes, yes, sir. I will check the video as well.
Yeah, correct. No, you
Yeah,
have
it's
been.
available on the video actually.
Yeah,
All
correct.
the steps.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, guys. Then we'll see you on Monday.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Sure,
Same
sir.
as
Sure.
well.
Have a
Have
good
an
weekend, sir.
Yeah, you
Thank
too.
you.
Have
Thank
a
you.
nice weekend.
Bye, bye, sir.
Bye, guys.
Bye
Bye.
bye, sir.
Bye.
Thank you.
Happy weekend.
You too. You too. Bye.
Have a good weekend, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Leela.